What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out DGEN. So if you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more. Let's get into it. So we got DGEN here on the daily. Been tracking it for a very long time. Had some questions about selling, and we'll get into that in a little bit later. But for right now, right, we are focused on this point we've been talking about. I was thinking possibly it'd be this week just because I thought we'd be bouncing down through here. And it's not like we're not bouncing, we're just kind of hanging out. Kind of hanging out at the bottom. Kind of hanging out at the bottom. There's a date of next week, Monday. So possibly possibly make it to the very tip of this and then you go. That'd be insane, but it's still, it's still in here. It's still doing its thing. So yeah, we're just waiting. We're just waiting. It's almost like you're fishing, you're catfishing. You get your bait, you set your line, you have your whatever type of alarm system you use for your line to set up, and you just kind of are hanging out and waiting for a bite, and that's what's going on right now. So overall, this thing has been oversold. Right, been oversold. You got all this bullish divergence. You got bullish divergence, a whole bunch of green dots. The stochastics at 0. This is on the daily. You're oversold, right? There's so many things to look at. This is what this looked like through here, right down through here. Right, it looks so similar. Right? It looks so similar. So I think patience is warranted. Been through the ringer with this thing, and I do think that most altcoins, something like DGEN, that's down like 95%, I think are getting ready to just go absolutely bananas. So there's some information out there floating out there about some crypto news today. That's the sad part about this whole industry, is that it can come down to a tweet or to one thing of news and then the market goes crazy. But it's not really the news that is affecting it. It's the news will come out when assets are at their lows, right? It's not just this, it's everything across the board. Right? It's even Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down at 88,000 again. It was just at 92. It's going down to 88. I got some targets for that, but I digress. Let's get into the questions of have I sold, right? Well, if we're playing the game of, right, we're playing the game of what we do in how we work this channel, right? It's not that, I sell everything, I buy everything at certain points, right? So through here, right, we had this area through here, right? That was holding support. Right? Once this area lost, I sold a percentage of it, right? Tried to buy back down through here. I couldn't get orders in through this or through XLM, but I did get orders down through here, right? I got orders down through there. So once we came up, right, I didn't sell at this rejection, right? I sold at this rejection, right? Sold a percentage of it, right? Sold a percentage of it, 25, 15, 10%. It's just a way for, you can increase the size of your bag as it goes down, and you can decrease the your entry price. I'm sorry, I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm sorry about that. So same there, right? Come down through here, the November open. Once we lost this November open as well, we came up, reject, right? Sold. Okay, so it's kind of been the same concept of what is going on through here, right? Through here, right? Through here, we bounced up through here. The fact that we came up through this trend line, lost the trend line, had me a little nervous, right? Had me a little nervous, but overall, I've been buying from all the sells up through here. I've been buying down through here. Right. So just buying, buying. I haven't bought any today yet. I haven't bought any over the last week, right? So what is it? It's just weird looking at the 4-hour candles. It was, yeah, like last week, like down through here. I just bought at this level, right? thinking we'd bounce, you know, and so I did have another level down through here. I don't know where it went. On my weekly, no. I don't know where it went. Maybe I got rid of it. But let's put it on there, right? Let's put on another possible buy zone. I mean, that looks the 1218, but let's see. Let's see what we got, right? Let's see what we got from a low. All right, let's get up through here from this high. Right at that 786, probably this 886 right through here. And we'll discount double check that, right? It's a 115. Right there. That 115. What about through here from this recent low to recent high? Wow, bounced right off that 1618. That's beautiful. That is actually beautiful. So let's go through this. All right, we got to move this down through here. Whoa. If it comes back down to this 1618, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on down. Come on down. There we go. We're going to move this. Everything just gets moved down, right? Everything gets moved down. It's a lot easier to break out of things once, you know, when you've been tanking for so long. It really does get a lot easier to get above and beyond things, right? I want to see how this matches up. No. Look at that gap. Came down and filled that gap. We'll see how that one looks. We'll leave that one right there. Boom. Okay. So I do want to look at the rest of this, because now we're kind of getting a picture of, you know, where we've gone. Okay. We didn't know if we would come down through here all the way through, but it's been a slow drizzle, so not too surprising. But overall, from this low, I do want to get from this low up through here. That high. Yeah. I do. I kind of want to move this up through here. Nah, that's a nice spot right there, though. At 382 though, it's a 382. I gotta respect the 382. Gotta respect the 382. Okay, so we got some levels now to the upside, to the downside. I don't know why. Is this the daily chart? There's no way this is the daily. No. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this on the 2 hour. Change this up. Okay, there we go. There we go. And there we go. Solid. Okay, there we go. Good. Cool, let's see what that looks like. That probably looks beautiful. Yep. Beautiful. So we got, I don't know why, I'm just going to leave it. Right, you're still just trading in this zone, right? Still trading in this zone. Looking to hopefully, I mean, the fact that DGEN is down 1% and Bitcoin is down 3%, right? I mean, it should tell you something, right? It should say, okay, we're in a point in the market where Bitcoin has been dropping steadily, right? Bitcoin has been dropping at a different rate relative to altcoins. What is Bitcoin dominance doing? Bitcoin dominance is neutral to, you know, slightly red over the last couple of days. That's a good sign. That means, you know, sellers are exhausted on alts. They're not exhausted on Bitcoin. And that's kind of the start of Bitcoin, you know, alt season is. Bitcoin is going to go through this. It's possibly going to go down to, you know, let's just go look at it, right? Let's go look at it. To that 85,000 you know, there's some levels we're kind of in no man's land right now. I got the lows going to 85,000. I know it's kind of crazy to even think about from up from here. I mean, this is all right, 32, it's 32%, right? So it's not that big. It's not that crazy to think about, but just the fact that, you know, it can still drop another couple thousand. And what are altcoins going to do, right? What are altcoins going to do? I mean, look at all of this bullishness going on in Bitcoin though right now. I know it's the 4 hour. I know it's the 4 hour, but still, none of this has happened like this for a long time. You kind of had it through here, right? And then you had a nice run. And you kind of had it in here. Right? Kind of had it through there and you had a really nice run, but nothing to this extent. This is a lot more prevalent. I mean, you got let's count the bullish divergences on Bitcoin. Let's count it. Okay? Let's kind of count it. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, and you got a golden dot, and you got a large green candle. Okay, so 4 bullish divergences, 1 large green dot, and 1 golden candle. Let's go to April. April through here. I mean, even through here, it's nothing. Yeah, you got lower in your reading. Right, you got lower in the reading, but it's not showing the amount of bullish divergence through April. Through March that led to the April run. It's not even close. It's not even close, right? So I think something big is brewing, definitely, for crypto. I think crypto has been just absolutely butchered, and a lot of people are out. A lot of people they're not in crypto, and I don't blame a lot of people, right? I don't. I really don't. But for right now, you got a red dot on the Fu Manchu. You're coming into contact with this trend line once again. I mean, there's only so much further until you got to make another decision. This happened back in October, I believe. It was the same concept. You came right down to the wire, made a decision to the downside. You know, the timing is the most difficult. You know, timing is pretty accurate in the time frame, wrong in the direction, right? I'll admit it. I was wrong in the direction. But now we're coming down to another spot. Okay? So, are we going to drop down even lower? And if we don't break out here, then it'll push. Then it's going to be, you know, another, you know, month and a half. That's just how it works with time frames. It boils down to a point and a decision time where, okay, if you don't break out now, then it's going to be, you know, another. Then we got to narrow it down to maybe, you know, I'll see. We'll see. You know, it could be, I think, you know, end of January kind of thing. We'll see though, right? If this doesn't play out, I got to get to the drawing board again. But I do believe a big decision is going to be made by next week, right? So in terms of the reasoning, right? So we got Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has now, so Bitcoin dominance we've been tracking the 24th for a while now. We've been tracking this ascending wedge for a while now. And, you know, you broke down, you had to cross the 20 EMA, crossing down below the 50 EMA. Very good for Bitcoin dominance, right? For us, if you're an altcoin holder. Where did it happen? Right through here, right? So two examples happened back in 2020. That was the last time this happened. So it's not a common occurrence, right? So when it happens, it should pay attention to it. So we had one right through here, and it had about a 12% drop in Bitcoin dominance right through here. 10% drop in Bitcoin dominance, and then you had one right through here. A little bit sideways, right? It kind of dropped down, you came back up, back tested, then you went. All right, so two different scenarios. One was immediate gratification. The other, a little bit of a sideways move and then go. But either way, Bitcoin dominance dropped and altcoins had a rally, right? And so either what we're seeing right now is the rotation where people are taking a lot of profits from Bitcoin. They're putting it into stablecoin dominance, right? Stablecoin dominance has just been going absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It looks like we're going to get a cross on the 100. All right, we're going to get a cross on the 100. But that could actually say, okay, it's over, right? It's over to the upside, because this thing right now is just going crazy. It is, it is in the overbought zone. It is in the overbought zone. We've had bearish divergence though on the daily multiple times down through here. So you're breaking bearish divergence, breaking bearish divergence. So it's just overall it just depends on when this chart starts to tank and stay down, right? Because there's been instances where this chart comes down, rallies up. This right here this just looks like a nice correction to the upside, but something like down through here like this, right? Something like this, right? Even this down through here, right? It just would not stay down. So until stablecoin dominance can come up through here and reject, right? I'm thinking up through here it matches up with next week, right? Come up and then finally reject, and I mean like a large candle rejection, like something like this, right? Something bigger than this, something like a 10% candle rejection. It needs something like this right here. This is exactly what you need. Right here, 10% candle. You just at this point you got to get down below. You got to get down below the 20 EMA on the daily, right? So very large candle. That's what we're hoping for. So as far as DGEN, that's what I got for DGEN for the levels to the downside, levels to the upside. You're coming down to a point, right? That's a pretty bearish candle, if I'm being honest. It's pretty bearish. It is. It's pretty bearish. Like you just get slammed down. It's not great. But the fact that you're coming down through and you're touching down again, it is a good sign to see. Right? You got a couple more days till we make a decision. So that's what I got for DGEN. If you like today's video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more. I appreciate you stopping by as always. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.